do like the chesting and see how the thing is going with the sound and the. Is it working? Yeah, it's working. All right. And apparently we're already on Dementia Radio and have been for 15 minutes. Sorry, Dementia Radio.
Whoops.
Oh well.
Oh boy.
It is going with the Cleveland. Okay. All right. And recording in 3, 2, 1.
Recorded live on DementiaRadio.org, it's the Funny Music Podcast. Brought to you by FuMP.com, where you can download new free comedy songs twice a week. Now, here's your hosts, Devo Spice and the great Luke Ski.
Hey, Devo Spice!
Hey, Luke Ski!
Hey, Lucas!
Hey, Luke Ski.
Yes, we have.
It's time for a show featuring ThatLuckyPanda!
ThatLuckyPanda, come on down!
Hello, hello.
Or something, I don't know. Actually, yeah, I have.
Oh my god.
I have.
There's already porn talking.
I have the prices right on the brain because I did a design for the back of the next FuMP CD that shows like the stage of The Price is Right with Bad Beth and Lauren Mayer performing on it. So
very nice. That's some good shit.
All right, welcome to episode 778 of the Funny Music Podcast for May 15th, 2025. Tomorrow's my mother's birthday. Got to remember to call her. Title of this week's episode is Spotless Guitar, which I just put in the chat, and your job is to work that into our conversations somehow. All right, let's do this thing.
Let's get caught up with what Devo and Luke have been up to since last week. Or else Devo, if Luke bailed and didn't show up.
Hey, what?
No, he's right.
So, Luke, what you been up to?
Let me pull up my calendar so I can remind myself what I've been up to since last week. So, yeah,
Take a drink.
Yeah, I told you about all that stuff. Yeah, Kalani she did her second round of chemo, so this is cycle 2, and it went well. Yeah, we sorry, I just spaced out for a moment on things, looking at the calendar. It's like I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I guess I just took it off my calendar here because we also did another trip to the Disneyland and the California Adventure on Sunday. Because that's the thing, I don't just use my calendar to keep track of the things coming up. I literally use it to keep track of what the hell I did recently, so that if I need to remember what I did in a certain date, I can go back in time. So. That's why I was really confused for a moment. I'm like, wait a minute, we went to Disneyland. Why isn't that there? So, but yeah, it was fun. The usual. And we didn't know this at the time, but it turned out to be like that was the last day of this year that they were going to have Space Mountain done up Star Wars style as Hyperspace Mountain because the inner, it's like they changed the projections and the audio and stuff so that it's a Star Wars ride. So, Kalani actually was able to ride it that day, and that was the first time she's been able to ride Space Mountain since all this stuff, since the surgery and everything. So, so she was really, really happy to have done that.
Cool.
And yeah, so outside of that, went to see the movie The Amateur, which was, pretty cool. I kind of felt like, I don't know, I thought the pacing was a little slow, because, this is kind of one of those movies or shows where, like, the main character is this super genius who isn't going to kill you the regular way, in this case because he doesn't really have the gumption to, like, just shoot somebody. He's going to figure out some kind of elaborate, science-y kind of way to kill you instead.
Of course.
Because somehow that makes it not an actual murder.
Try to kill you Danganronpa style.
Yeah. But, yeah, it stars Rami Malek. It's really good, so... So, yeah, and the other thing, from last week, we got the 76-inch TV set up, and that basically led to this chain reaction of me needing to, clean and dust, a whole lot of things. I basically took down the majority of the action figures in the living room because we had to move the furniture around. So now I'm trying to, put them all back and also kind of decide, which action figures do I want to, store and retire because I have so many of them, and, which ones do... Oh, sorry. Yawning again. Sleep apnea machine's going great some of the time. It did pretty well last night, but at this point, part of me just feels like I just need to have it hooked up all the time and just walk around like Saw Gerrera from Rogue One and Andor, like, tell us about your comedy song. So anyway. So yeah, that's what's up with me. What has been up with you, sir?
Well, the big thing over here was I spent the weekend doing a server migration for the FuMP. We have a separate server for our media files, which is just FuMPmedia.com. And we had it set up on a host that was offering unlimited hosting, unlimited storage for dirt cheap. It was $7.99 a month or something like that. And apparently their definition of unlimited is 100 gigabytes, because the instant we hit that 100 gigabyte mark, we got this nasty letter that was like, it's not supposed to be used this way. You're violating our terms of service. And I'm like, but unlimited, So they jacked up our prices quite a bit, and we've been paying the jacked up prices for a little while, and I got sick of paying them. So I looked for a better solution and found one. So we are now set up on an honest-to-God CDN, a content delivery network, so that our MP3 files are propagated around the world and cached and stuff. You may notice that on the FuMP, when you hit play, it loads a lot faster, because holy shit, this thing is a whole lot faster than our old host. So I'm very happy with that. The migration went pretty well. The only problem I had was I forgot that Manic Mondays also uses the similar upload script that the FuMP uses when we post our songs. So when Mike went to post the show on Sunday night, it didn't work. So he sent me the MP3, and Monday morning I woke up to his email, and I'm like, oh yeah, that. So I had to fix that upload script and got everything working. But everything's working now. If you come across any songs that don't play, clear your cache in your browser. It may still be pointing to the old location. That should fix it. If it doesn't, let me know. It's entirely possible I missed a song or two moving 130 gigs from one server to another. So if you come across any song that doesn't play, let me know, and I will look into it. The other thing is, I want to say it was last year, I had a web series class with my acting class where we wrote a web series, rehearsed it, and then filmed it. And it's finally out, so you can watch it now. It's called Dysfunction Junction. It's 8 episodes long. They're 6 to 7 minutes long, so the whole thing is just under an hour if you watch it straight through. I'm in episodes 3, 5, 6, and 8. It's basically a dysfunctional family, and a filmmaker shows up to make a documentary about the dysfunctional family, and I am her cameraman, and I'm in love with her, and she wants nothing to do with me. And it came out pretty funny, so it's worth a watch. It's available on YouTube. If you search for Dysfunction Junction, you should be able to find it. I also set up a TinyCC redirect at tiny.cc/dysfunction. That'll take you right to the YouTube page. And last night I saw the film Until Dawn, which I only mention because of something that's happening here locally in New Jersey. I enjoyed Until Dawn. I thought it was really good. I have never played the game that it's based on, and apparently, from what I've read online, they completely screwed up the lore of the game, and it really doesn't have a whole lot to do with the game. But the movie takes place in a town that was basically swallowed up by the earth when a mine that was underneath the town collapsed. That's happening here in New Jersey. Large segments of Route 80 are closed because giant sinkholes keep opening up because there's a mine underneath it that's collapsing. And it's been happening for a couple of months now. They've had this swath of Route 80 closed, and it's just the traffic has been a nightmare. So I was watching this movie, and you see all these buildings that are like half sunk into the ground, and I'm like, yeah, it's going to be Rockaway soon. Oh, there's going to be Dover. Yeah, the whole area is going to be. So anyway, so Lucas, what have you been up to?
Well, that's a damn good question. If you couldn't tell, I'm hailing from outside. Hopefully, I'm plenty audible. But so far, what I've been up to consists of moving house. I moved in with my aunt recently in the past couple weeks, and so far things have been pretty good. Other than I landed a short. I'm saying short term because I don't really want to work at a drive-through carry out the rest of my life. But I landed a job while I'm here, and getting stuff sorted out with like new addresses and bill addresses for like other shit. And I also need to find myself some fucking. I'm sorry. I was about to go on a whole fucking rant about I need insurance, but yeah, I just noticed. I looked on the stream and it didn't recognize the
I put
E in my last name.
I put the E with the accent over it, and that font apparently doesn't have that character in it, so I had to just go with the regular E. So
yeah. Yeah, that's fine. That just cracks me. I went to graphic design tech school.
Oh, you know what I can
so
do?
That just cracks me up.
Hang on. I'll do this. We're not using one of these other ones from last week, so I will put a comma in that name, and then I'll move it over the E. There we go. Now we just have to remember to turn on two names so that it works. There you go.
Oh my God. Oh, that's great. Oh, I love it. Oh, it's beautiful. All right. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Fucking insurance. Yeah, I have to get that figured out. Because my mom, just kicked me off her insurance. For reasons relating to my transition. Unfortunately, we have very different takes. We have very different takes on the topic. So I am, I got to figure that out. I'm trying the whole Medicaid thing, and then if that doesn't work out, I'm probably just gonna fucking work at Walmart or something, somewhere that'll get me insurance if I work full time. But
I think Starbucks will give you insurance if you work part-time.
Do they?
Might be worth looking into.
I don't know.
I did hear that. I don't know that it's 100% true, but it might be worth looking into.
Maybe. I don't know. Anything related to food and bev, I am just horribly uncomfortable with, just from an autistic standpoint, and also just in general, because I have anxiety. I also have eczema. So I'm scratching at my hands all the time. I'm I don't want to be handling fucking food.
Fair. Okay.
That's nasty, but it's a bit TMI. But fucking yeah, I've been up to a lot of crazy shit since I last saw y'all. There was there was MarsCon, which was very fun. I had a lovely time. And very shortly after that, I saw NSP in Columbus, and if you couldn't tell, I got the tour merch on.
Nice.
Because I'm an insane individual who wears hoodies in 70-degree weather. But yeah, that's. I saw NSP. I wrote down. I took notes. There's a car that just pulled up. Oh my God, my eyes. All right, fucking yeah. Oh yeah, I saw NSP, which was nice. It was like they're like, if you don't fucking know who I am, they're like my favorite band of all time. So getting to see them live, not like for the first time, I got VIP. So I thought I was still gonna get seats because it was at the Athenaeum Theater in Columbus, and I saw theater, and I'm just like, oh cool, we're just all gonna get seats. I walked in with the VIP folks, and it was Pit, and we were like, oh, awesome. So so I somehow managed to get not only Pit but Barricade. So I was right in front of these motherfuckers, and it was glorious.
Nice.
I will say.
Do they have much of a mosh pit at NSP shows?
We all did discuss it during like the VIP segment because it was me and then my friend who came with me, and then like a couple of other people who chimed in were just like, we'll just, I'll throw down to Heart Boner, like, and there wasn't really much room to open the pit, unfortunately, because it was a sold out gig. Yeah. But if it wasn't so damn hot in that room, I probably would have participated if it happened. But yeah, that was a glorious experience to have. Oh yeah, what's today? The 15th. 3 days ago, I hit my 8-month on testosterone milestone. So
cool.
Yippee.
Nice.
I'm very happy with the changes that have come along with it so far. Obviously, the voice is a lot deeper than it was the last time I saw you guys. Well, I didn't even see Luke last time. But, it's whatever. But I was very worried because I was talking to my doctor about it. And I was just like, yo, I know I'm only 8 months in, but I don't want to get a haircut, and I'm constantly getting misgendered. Do you have advice for me to get my fucking mustache going? And they're like, well. So I think, if things keep going well, I won't be baby faced for much longer.
You'd look good with a mustache. I can see that.
Thank you. I'm glad you think so. I got the Filipino great mustache, but potential receding hairline genetics.
Nice.
So,
okay. Yeah. So okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully I'll have a pretty sexy stash going on soon, and
you need a goatee. That's what you need. Is just the goatee.
That's what I'm saying. Like if I get a goatee going on, I'll be fucking unstoppable.
Yeah.
Like it's there, but like lighting really has to be nice. The shadow is coming.
It's early yet. Give it time.
Yeah, I'm just an impatient boy, but there's I did notice there's a couple like little hairs on the chin coming in too. So I'm like, was not expecting that, but it comes with the territory, and I'm excited to hit a year very soon.
Cool. All right, so you posted a song.
I did indeed.
Give us a quick intro. We will give it a listen.
It is a parody of The Offspring's Pretty Fly for a White Guy, and it's about being a trans guy. That's it.
All right, here is Pretty Fly for a Trans Guy by ThatLuckyPanda.
And all the people say I'm pretty fly for a trans guy. Said, baby, this is what you get. You know it's kinda hard just to go outside today. His interests aren't cool, but he likes them anyway. He may not have a dick, can. He may not have style, but everything he lacks, well, he makes up in denial. So don't debate if he is straight. You know he really doesn't know that anyway. Gonna try to pass and keep it masked. For you no way, for you no way. So if you go hate or just appropriate, at least that you know that you can always go on with your day. The world needs boys on taste, so hey, hey, screw that gender day. And all the people say I'm pretty fly. He needs some cool tunes, yeah, he needs some fresh prints, but they didn't have neck deep, so he bought some no offense. Now cruising in his fusion, he sees turfies as he pass, and if he looks twice, they're gonna kick his yeah. So don't debate if he is straight. You know that he's still gonna get some anyway. Gonna change his hair and what he wears. For you no way, for you no way. So if you don't hate or overcomplicate, at least that you know that you can always go on with your day. The world loves boys on taste, so hey, hey, screw the gender thing. Now he's getting a tattoo, yeah, he's getting real annoyed. He had the Deathly Hollow, so he changed it to Pink Floyd. They say he's trying too hard, and he won't quite fit. But in his own mind, he's a piece of fucking shit. Hanakur said, baby, this is what you get. So don't debate if he is straight. You know he really doesn't know that anyway. Gonna try to pass and keep it masked. For you no way, for you no way. So if you go hate or just appropriate, at least that you know that you can always go on with your day. The world needs boys on taste, so the world loves boys on taste, so hey, this is my voice on taste, so hey, hey, screw that gender thing.
Very nice. So this is clearly a very highly autobiographical song, I can tell.
Really? Yeah, no, 100%. A lot of that shit is just 100% just about me specifically, but I tried to make it like as universal as I could. With a lot of the, I'm gonna have to look up my own damn lyrics, but with a lot of the,
thankfully we have a
lyrics,
website for that.
Oh, you're so right. Oh my god.
Except for all the
But
lyrics
fucking,
it deleted.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, but when I was writing it, he didn't co-write it, but we discussed the lyrics. I talked to Insane Ian about them while I was writing it, and we both had a lot of trouble, specifically with the Ricky Lake line, because that song just pins that song right into the 90s, and I'm just like, how the fuck am I supposed to do with that? And we're just like, I was just go with my day. I'm like, oh, there you go.
That's honestly what I think of one of the best lines in the song, because like I get people don't understand trans issues and the experience and everything, but like it doesn't affect you. Go on with your day. You know, like
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Like, you don't have to understand everything. Just don't be a dick. You know, like, it's not hard.
Don't be a dick. Yeah. I'm going to look up my own damn lyrics.
Okay, while you're doing that, I have a couple of questions. First of all, is there a significance to you counting to 3 in Korean in the song?
Okay. Well, for one, I'm learning Korean. That's one thing. But I wanted to do something that I was trying to figure out what to do with the uno dos tres thing, and I was just like, I could just keep it as is, because some lines I kept in the song.
Yeah.
But I was just like, I want to do something slightly different for this. So I was just like, fucking, what kind of rhymes with that I know in another language that basically means the same thing? I'm just like, well, uno, dos, tres, hana, dos, set. Fucking, it rhymes. It's whatever. Fuck it, throw it in there.
Okay. No, because I caught it because I can count to 10 in Korean. That's the only Korean I know because I took karate as a kid and they used to count the moves in Korean. So I had that drilled into my head for 4.5 years. So I was like, I know those words, but that's the only Korean I know. With those,
Leonardo DiCaprio just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other line I just caught when I was reading along with the video, the lyric video, because I didn't catch this the first time. You mentioned a tattoo of the Deathly Hallows you changed to a Pink Floyd, and I was like, wait a minute, because it took me a second to remember what the Deathly Hallows looked like. So I just did a Google image search, and it's the triangle with the circle and a line. And with Pink Floyd, you got the triangle with the rainbow going through it, so it looks like you can actually go from one to the other, and it threw me when you first said it, but I was like, okay, now seeing it makes sense.
Yeah, that one I'm kind of proud of because there's a lot of layers to that one. Because for one, Deathly Hallows, Harry Potter, fuck J.K. Rowling. We don't like TERFs, but so along with that, a lot of trans people who grew up enjoying that franchise happen to get Harry Potter themed tattoos, and in light of J.K. Rowling's questionable decisions, people would get like cover up tattoos or like get them removed, and I'm just like, what? I don't exactly remember the specific thing that made me land on Pink Floyd. But I was just like, it was the first thing that came to my head because it was just like Deathly Hallows tattoo. That's a thing that people get. What's also a triangle? The fucking Pink Floyd album, Dark Side of the Moon. So I'll just do that. And it ended up working a lot better than I thought it would. So I'm glad that you caught that one.
When this song came through the queue of potentials and stuff, and I saw it was your name, and I saw the title, and I was like, yes. so yeah, it's an awesome song, great job. But another thing that us parody makers, I think, kind of have to, contend with is, my general rule is that I won't do a parody of something if one of my other friends has done it, and I think most people don't do a parody of something, if Weird Al has done it, because if Al's done it, then generally speaking, what are you going to do with your version of that song that's going to somehow surpass what he already did? I'm not saying that he's unsurpassable. I'm just saying that you'd have to have like a really specific killer idea that works with whatever it was, So, but I think what you did here, that's a great idea. Friggin' go for it, So, it's certainly better than the one I did of what I call a forced parody, where it doesn't. It's like the guy making the parody just really wants to cram one idea into the other, even though they don't fit. So my parody of Pretty Fly for a White Guy was called Quite a Man for an Al Fan, about Weird Al as the unlisted bonus track at the end of the Carpe Dementia CD. And the funny thing was, I took a trip out to California to be on the Dr. Demento show back in '99 to promote the event where Dr. Demento was going to be in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, and I was going to perform at it. And then I threw a party words after with my wife at the time, Stephanie, called Dementia 99, and so I had the finished Carpe Dementia album, and we managed to get together and hang out with Bermuda from Al's band. So I played him that track, and he listened to it, and he was like, yeah, it's a great parody, and he knew that Pretty Fly for a Rabbi was coming, and I'm sure he was just thinking to himself like, well, nice effort you did there, but we are going to destroy you.
Yeah.
Oh God, that is mortifying.
So yeah, so it was like embarrassing later to be like, I did it another time, because I also did my own parody of Lump called Gump that I got to perform once, and then like 3 days later, Al played, Al debuted Gump on the Dr. Demento show. So yeah,
I heard.
I had that song for 3 days. I have this recording of me performing it at a Rocky Horror in Toledo, and it went gloriously. So that one live recording was like the one pure time I could say that song was mine. So anyway,
Damn.
But yeah, it was great song, great job.
Thank you.
What are your plans to make more music and or put out an album?
That is a good question. I kind of want to piggyback off of the idea of the parody itself real quick. I was almost like 100% certain. Surely someone has made a parody called Pretty Fly for a Trans Guy. Surely someone, and I went digging throughout like YouTube and Spotify, and I was just like, I can't find one. Guess I'll do it. But for new music and an album, that's a good question. I've yet to. Pardon me.
You know what I do every time something like that happens? I just turn around and I go, "You're so cool! When I grow up, I want to be just like you."
I do the same thing. I do the same thing whenever like either a truck like revs or like a motorcycle like right next to me like unnecessarily, and I'm just like, wow, that guy's cock must be huge.
There was a guy years ago at a supermarket by me on a yellow motorcycle with yellow leather jacket and pants and a yellow helmet, and he was revving the crap out of it, and he peeled out, did a wheelie out of the parking lot, and I looked at him and I just went, "Go, go, Power Rangers!"
Stop! That is insane work. Oh my god. That's crazy. But yeah.
Apparently that guy's message was, "I have a car."
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Fuck, what was it? Album.
Yeah, but you're working with the War Crimes now, right?
I am, in fact. I've yet to work on anything for an original TLP album as of yet, but I've been working with Trevor Morgan of the War Crimes for there are bugs out here for the debut War Crimes album. We have yet to record any final tracks, but lately Trevor has just been cranking out demos and then sending them my direction to look over, and I'm just like, God damn, dude. First of all, breathe. Second of all, I'm so excited about this project because he sends me demos, and he's the one doing like the singing, but he does like it's the demo, so it's like the vocal guide, and I'm like, dude, this shit fucking rips. Like I don't think I've been this excited for a project, an original project before. So hopefully that gets done. I think I don't know if we had like a specific date or like deadline to finish it, but we would very much like to have it done before MarsCon next year.
That would make sense, yeah.
So hopefully we get some stuff done. Of course, recording things has been a little bit difficult on my end since I've been moving, and I have yet to move my equipment over and stuff. But Yeah, I'm really excited about the war crime stuff. I'm a broken record when it comes to it. I'm just saying I'm excited over and over again, but that's true.
Well, I'm excited to hear what you guys come up with because Trevor's really talented. So, and so are you. And I want to see what you guys can do together.
It's very nice of you. But yeah, we've been like going back and forth on stuff and different ideas and like lyric. Fucking edits and stuff. So that guy's brain, man. He's definitely got it.
Indeed. All right. So, do you have anything you'd like to plug?
Plug. That is a good question. Well, for one, I've been working on the war crime stuff. We haven't like finished anything, so we don't have anything to tease, but do be on the lookout for that at some point before we die.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, I also, of course, I have my YouTube channel. It just says Lucas and then in brackets @LuckyPanda. My main content over there just consists of Game Grumps fan edits. So if you're interested in those, maybe check it out. But that is also where I post all of my music and even some stuff that I don't put on Spotify. So I believe my most recent thing is a cover of the Trans Luffy rap by Freezed. And I don't know if I'm going to put that anywhere, but it's on my YouTube. So that's where I put my music and my edits and stuff, and just, updates on my transition. It's usually like a voice update. I also have a Bandcamp page, ThatLuckyPanda.bandcamp.com. I made a Ko-Fi, but I have yet to do anything specific with it. Mm-hmm. So if anybody has any suggestions on what I should put on there.
Is it pronounced Ko-Fi?
I think it's
I don't think anybody really knows, because the slogan is "Buy me a." I think it's supposed to be coffee, but it's spelled Ko-Fi, so who knows?
Yeah, I thought it was coffee, and then people just kept calling it Ko-Fi, so I'm like, I'll call it Ko-Fi. But yeah, I made one. I think it's just like I don't even remember like the domain of the thing. That's how little I've interacted with it. But if you want to send $1 or $2 towards your boy, those are the places to go. I'm working on music all the time, working on edits all the time, and rent is due. So, yeah. And also, I'm on Spotify, ThatLuckyPanda. I'm on all the streaming sites for my music. Spotify, Apple Music, ThatLuckyPanda. And, I'm on Instagram, ThatLuckyPanda, TikTok, Twitter. I'm trying to migrate to Blue Sky because I have an account there. I just don't be posting, but...
Yeah, I keep forgetting it exists. I don't post there a whole lot. I do have an account.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah, that's just about everywhere I'm at.
All right, cool.
But unfortunately, I'm not selling anything, so you won't see any smooth guitars on my sites.
Very nice. I don't know
how that
thing got moved on the screen.
I was going to do something about like production wise with that. Like I recorded the guitars for Pretty Fly, and they were not smooth because there was distortion. But that would have been kind of.
Hey, you could stretch it as far as you want. Luke has done some very stretchy titles over the years. So.
Yes.
All right, so we're going to move on to news and the second song, and we have a pre-recorded interview with Dave Guhlow coming up. Are you going to stick around, or are you taking off?
I think I'll stick around for a little bit.
All right, then. All right, let's do some news.
This is the FuMP.
Cause she said, baby, there's so much more, just wait. Come on in, everybody. My wife's into 5 ways, and I was excited, but this feels wrong.
Billy Squire and the heavenly harmony of Billy's choir. I'd get it on with Bob Seger too, just as long as Bob Seger too. Oh, don't get me started on Carly Simon. Don't get me started on Carly Simon.
That's the Funny Music Project at thefump.com. TheFUMP.com.
Second week of deer camp, drinking the beer.
Open up the door, it's Dave.
Man, Dave's not here.
Time for funny music news. Something.
In the news, the FuMP Volume 110 is now available. See, look, behold the cover, the Beastie Boys thing that Luke designed for me.
I designed that.
That's hard.
Designed it, and
hard.
yeah, isn't that awesome? That looks really cool. So,
and I want to take a moment to specifically point out that if you go on YouTube and search for MTV Nero, as in Emperor Nero, Nero apostrophe S, search for MTV Nero's Eve Ball 1987 Beastie Boys, and that's what the wall looks like that the Beastie Boys are performing in front of, which was kind of, one of their first big major things. And that Nero's Eve Ball special was hosted by Joe Piscopo and also featured Weird Al Yankovic and Gilbert Gottfried, as well as the Beastie Boys.
Nice.
So, yeah. In fact, I'm pretty sure that Al, and he had like kind of, because that was when Polka Party was out, so it was like him in Lederhosen, and the band was all in Lederhosen and stuff, and they performed the song Polka Party, and I'm pretty sure at the end of it, instead of singing how the song usually ends, they sang Everybody Wang Chung Tonight and, as an alternate ending to the polka Party song. So anyway, I'm mentioning this doubly because Devo also messaged me and say, what's the effect you're trying to go for here with the brick wall and stuff, and I just sent him the link. I'm like, this. He's like, oh, okay, I got it.
I fuck with that cover heavy. That's probably one of my favorites so far.
yeah, it came out really cool.
In fact, I mean, I know making T-shirts is expensive, but if the FuMP Beastie Boys logo, if we wanted to make that as a T-shirt, I'd be all for that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rock the shit out of that.
We might have
I'd crop it.
Like with it, like with the it's tough to see on the stream, but with the brick wall texture behind it too.
Yeah.
We could probably do that. So.
Oh, that rips.
All right, so yes, the FuMP Volume 110 is now available in the store at thefump.com. Features all the songs from March to April of 2025, including Don't Get Me Started by Jimmy O'Donnell, Escape from the Lab by the FuMP, The Ballad of Captain Mustard Butt by Bad Beth and Beyond, My Wife's in a Five-Way by Steve Goody, the Dr. and William 2025 version by the great Luke Ski, and many more, plus a behind-the-scenes video from MarsCon 2025. It is available now in the store. I was hoping to get the CDs out tomorrow, but my CD printer is being a little bitch, and it's printing like 2 CDs and then demanding that I realign the print heads, which burns another CD. So it's like, I'm ready to strangle it. You know all the problems you have with inkjet printers where it can't find the printer and then it just loses the file and then it prints the wrong thing? Picture putting CD complications on top of that. That's what I'm dealing with here.
Oh, Jesus.
So the CDs will probably go out Saturday. All right.
Yeah, it's like I have this gigantic Brother printer scanner, which I got back in the day because the scanner part of it scans at 11 by 17 size, and I wanted and needed that for artwork purposes. And like it is, if I go out to stores like Micro Center or Best Buy or anywhere, you can't find an 11 by 17 scanner, printer scanner at all. I mean, I even tried searching for them online, and it seems like nobody makes them anymore. So
yeah,
I don't know. So basically, the printer on here sucks. It barely ever works, and it's always telling me it's out of ink when I just put new ink in it. But I'm keeping it around because the scanner still works just fine.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'll be printing inserts on. I have a laser printer here, color laser printer that I use for the inserts, and I'll be printing 25 copies, and it'll print 20 of them, and then tell me it can't find the printer, and I'm like, what? It's right there. You just printed 20 of them. What happened? I don't understand this. How hard is it in this day and age to make a printer that works? I don't understand it. Anyway, back to the news. We have an announcement from Wacky Ben. Sunday Funnies with Wacky Ben is bumping the show from 30 minutes to an hour for the rest of 2025, beginning in June. And at the start of January of 2026, will be bumped to 2 hours. Playing 6 songs for a half an hour has run its course, and he's ready to go back to playing more songs. And for the first time in 10 years, Wacky Ben will be doing a weekly countdown called the Wacky 5, counting down the top 5 funniest songs and parodies of the week. And you can make your requests for both the Wacky 5, new or old, and other random songs for the show at SundayFunniesPodcast@gmail.com or one of the Facebook pages for the show. Please help make Sunday Funnies with Wacky Ben the comedy music podcast to give a relaxing, lazy Sunday before the beginning of the stressful week. Thank you, Ben. And
so it's sort of a manic Sundays, if you will.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. And the FuMPFest Documentary IndieGoGo is up to $2,392, which is 35% of the way to their $6,700 goal. So they are well underway. Unfortunately, with the way these fundraisers work, is that most of the money comes at the very beginning and the very end, and there's a big lull in the middle. So it's like it's a slog getting through the middle part. But they should be able to reach their goal, I believe.
Yeah, I haven't done any major promotion of it yet, so I want to assure that Carter and the crew that, yes, Luke Ski will be doing his usual obnoxious promoting of the thing. I have other things I need to get done with at the moment. So,
all right. Anything else before tour dates?
Yeah. I wanted to mention that I'm very happy that over the weekend, Dr. Demento played the song "The Doctor and William" as the opening track of this past week's show. So yeah, the Doctor and William 2025 version. I know that under normal circumstances, it's like Luke, like, hey, I'm request my song for the top 10, blah blah blah. And so that's kind of my usual MO. But I just wanted to point out that part of the lyrics of that song is specifically saying that the song was number 1 in the top 10. So if you want the prophecy to come true, then perhaps consider going to drdemento.com and using the request link to request, the Dr. and William 2025 edition by the Great Luke Ski featuring Devo, Spice, and Tony Goldmark for the top 10. Be sure to include your email address so he knows it's a legit request. Or you could do it over on our Facebook group. Just be sure to include in your post the words request and top 10 and the Dr. and William 2025 edition version. I forgot what word I used. So it'll be interesting to see what happens at the end of the month, if it actually hits number 1 or not. And if so, will the rest of the top 10 follow the lyrics that were written in the song? Will numbers 10 through 6 be all acts from the FuMP, with Elijah by Don White at number 4, Hello Mota Hello Fada by Alan Sherman at number 3, Fat by Weird Al Yankovic at number 2, and then The Doctor and William by the Great Luke Ski featuring Devo, Spice, and Tony Goldmark at number 1. It'll be interesting to see if Barry and his people decide to be that clever about things, or if this is just me talking out my butt. But anyway, yeah, that's the thing you can do, is request that song and other songs like songs by ThatLuckyPanda, for instance, that you heard earlier tonight.
Wow. Unexpected plug over there. Thank you.
First, I got to plug my own stuff, then I got to plug other people's stuff. That's the way it works.
Type shit.
All right, tour dates. On Sundays in Nashville, Tennessee, Steve Goody hosting at the Bluebird. Sundays online, 2 Sleeps. Mondays online, Steve Goody and Brad Tassel at virtualcomedyshow.com. Mondays and Tuesdays online, Bill Larkin. On the 16th in Escanaba, Michigan, Steve Goody. On the 18th in Bolingbrook, Illinois, Steve Goody. On the 20th in Bend, Oregon, Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction. The 23rd in New York, David W. Jacobson. And on the 24th in Middleton, Indiana, Mikey Mason. All right, second song this week is the new one by Dave Guhlow. Here is Donald and Elon and Bezos and Vance.
We're Donald and Elon and Bezos
and Vance.
We're working together, it's quite the bromance. So come join our crew, we're working for you, but only if you are a billionaire too.
We're cutting the budget right down to the bone.
So nothing competes with the stuff that we own. We'll change the whole country, you gave us the chance. We're Donald and Elon and Bezos and Vance. We're Donald and Elon and Bezos and Vance. Just witness our border and power expanse. But we're not to blame, 'cause we have no shame. And we've changed the Gulf of America's name.
We'll take over Greenland and Canada too.
Ukraine will be Russian before we get through. And soon we're invading both England and France. We're Donald and Elon and Bezos and Vance. We're Donald and Elon and Bezos and Vance. We're chugging expensive champagne in our manse.
There's no need to spend when Medicare ends.
And no more abortions unless you're a friend. The voters all think that we'll fight for their jobs, but we know they're all just some ignorant slobs, as all of our fortunes are greatly enhanced. We're Donald and Elon and Bezos
and Vance.
We're Donald and Elon and Bezos and Vance. We'll violate rulings with nary a glance. The goals that we'll reach, the lessons we'll teach,
and we'll keep on
going until we're impeached.
Both houses of Congress would have to agree,
but they'll never do it, just take it from me. 'Cause they'll all be doing a victory dance with Donald and Elon and Bezos and Vance.
I am here with Dave Guhlow. How you doing, Dave?
Hello there, Tom. Thank you for having me on again.
Oh, happy to have you. So tell us about Donald and Elon and Bezos and Vance.
Well, I usually shy away from current event stuff because the shelf life is just so short, especially now. I mean, it's like yesterday's news is yesterday's news.
Mm-hmm.
Things move so fast. So I usually don't do things like this. But last year was 50 years since Nixon resigned. And I was hearing that song again, Haldeman, Ehrlichman, Mitchell, and Dean, which were four of the guys involved in the Watergate scandal, among many others. And I was like, oh, I remember this song because I was maybe like 10 years old when that happened, or 12 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I just kept that in the back of my mind. And then when all this stuff started happening, it's like, I wonder if I could use this. So I just started putting a few things together, and it seemed to work out pretty well. I tried using Zuckerberg as one of the names, but like something and Zuck with the obvious rhyme patterns.
Yeah.
But it didn't quite work. So I flipped some of the names around and used Bezos' last name and Elon's first name. And it was like, okay, this might be something. So I just started filling it in, and there you go.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that like I was thinking about this song and thinking about the original, and like I'm realizing that like we're not seeing a lot of like modern day protest songs about what's going on.
No,
you know, we get the songs from Steve Goody here on the FuMP, about what's going on in this song, and there's been some others like Lauren Mayer has been doing a lot, but those are like, yeah, they're technically protest songs, but they're comedy. They're trying to
Randy Rainbow too.
Yeah, Randy Rainbow does a lot, and it's like I'm not seeing a lot of like serious folk singers and rock musicians come out, with protest songs, and it's kind of odd, and I'm not sure why.
I think it's the same issue of shelf life.
That could be, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, especially, pro musicians. I mean, look how long it takes them to make an album now, and the time in between albums. It really isn't like that anymore. And you don't have these clubs that they used to have in the 60s when, Dylan would show up and play his latest song that he wrote that afternoon or something like that.
Yeah, where's Bob Dylan? He's still alive. He should be writing protest songs.
Yeah, he's a Nobel laureate now. I mean, get on the stick here, Bob.
Right? What are you doing, dude? We need you.
Really? Can't understand the thing he says anymore, but hey,
I never could
in his day. But I miss shows like the Smothers Brothers that I vaguely remember. Who would have people like that on there. That too. I mean, you don't see shows like that. I mean, you see SNL.
SNL does
really
a bit,
not the same. It's not the same as it used to be.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it is because the viewing audience is splintered now. Everybody watches everything else. There's no 3-channel lifestyle anymore.
Yeah.
There's 300 channels.
Yeah.
And there's shows that I've never heard of that people are talking about because they're on streamers or because it's on YouTube. And it's like you just can't focus the population on a thing like this anymore. It's very, very hard.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting.
But we do our best here on FuMP.
Yeah, we try.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you captured what's going on very well in this song.
Oh, thank you.
Touched on a lot of annexing Canada and Greenland and everything else, and just very, very well done.
Well, thank you. I didn't try and sound like any of them because I have no idea what they sound like other than Trump. And I sort of tried to sound like him, but the others, I have no clue. I've never heard the others even talk because I really don't pay a lot of attention to politics. It just drives me nuts. I'd rather have a sane life.
Yeah, well, Elon sounds like a robot, and JD Vance, Ross Childs, another FuMP artist, has made a big following on TikTok doing JD Vance impressions because he resembles Vance, and he's doing him as like an alien in human skin, and it's brilliant. And
well, I sped Vance's voice up a little bit just for kicks because I wanted all four to sound a bit different. So I have no idea what any of them might actually sing like. I gave Bezos a nice Bezo profundo.
Yeah, I don't know what
profundo voice.
I
like
think
this.
he's the only one who I don't actually
clue.
know what he sounds like. So your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah, and I gave Elon an accent, but I have no idea how close I got. But I don't worry about things like that. I just wanted them all to sound different.
Yeah, no, it sounds very cool. It's a really cool song.
Thank you. It was fun to put together. It's neat to have the different voices kind of competing with each other.
Mm. So what else is going on with you?
Oh, well, the Brown album is out. Came out in April. So if you'd like to go take a look at that, well, there's nothing really to look at. There's no physical CDs of this. I finally decided, no, I'm not going to do this anymore. I finally decided to join the 21st century.
So there's no actual Brown on the Brown album, is what you're saying?
No, there's no actual anything on the Brown album. But if you'd like to download it, you can go to Bandcamp or some other places and hear them. And they're fun little ditties out there about various things that are Brown, including what you're probably thinking of. And yes, there are a couple of songs about that on there.
Mm. So yeah,
all in good, clean fun for the family.
Indeed. Is this supposed to be a kids album or not?
Not necessarily, but there are some kid songs on there.
Yeah, because a couple of them did strike me as like kid songs.
Yeah, Down the Drain.
Yeah,
Going Down the Drain, which I remember there was a what's his name? I can't think of it. I'm going senile. Fred Rogers.
Okay.
Right, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I heard him doing in an interview once that kids, or he would talk to all sorts of kids about things, and he got some mail or something about my kid's afraid of taking a bath because he's afraid of going down the drain. And I was like, oh, that's kind of sad. But that stuck in my head when I was writing the Brown album stuff. I was like, oh, it might be fun for kids to sing along to that.
Yeah.
Going down the drain. And it's like, oh, no, I'm not doing that. And then later on in the song, the parents actually go down the drain trying to prove to their kid, oh, it's perfectly safe. But then down they go. So.
Yeah, I imagine that fear dates back to a lot of the 1950s cartoons where like Tom and Jerry would do that. They would like,
oh, sure.
I distinctly remember Tom getting flushed down a toilet, at one point.
Yeah. Poor cat.
Yeah.
I feel so sorry for him. I just wanted to kill that mouse sometimes. Same with the Roadrunner.
Oh, the Roadrunner was a sadistic little bastard. Yeah.
Well, the Roadrunner almost never fought back, so I have to give it credit for that.
True,
It
but there
basically
were
would just
I
it would
remember
stick
seeing
its tongue out.
I remember
stick its
seeing
tongue out and
those,
go, blah, 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 blah.
like there was a list. I don't know if it's true or not, but there was a list of like rules for Roadrunner and the Coyote,
Yeah.
and like the
Oh,
Roadrunner.
that's right. Chuck Jones did that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's true or not, but like I don't know if these rules are real or not, but like one of them was the Roadrunner never actually attacks the Coyote. The Coyote has to do everything to himself. But then I've seen Roadrunner cartoons where the Roadrunner like does something and causes the Coyote pain. I'm like, so they bent the rules a little at least, I can't think of any instances off the top of my head, but there's several that I've seen.
I think there was one where the Coyote was setting up a pack of dynamite with the wires leading to a plunger, and then there's the Roadrunner on the plunger.
On the plunger, yeah.
Yeah. Sticking out his tongue.
All right, so do you have anything you'd like to plug?
Oh, as I said, the Brown album is out there, and other stuff too. I've got 6 albums now, 7 albums now. My God, what's wrong with me?
I don't know. You tell me.
You're right. Yeah, where do I start?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I count 8 on your Bandcamp
Amazon
page, so.
and Bandcamp, Amazon, Apple, the usual places. You can download all sorts of things and waste your time listening to many, 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 many things.
All right, sounds
again,
good.
Very appreciative, and a few things on FuMP too. I think this is my 5th one.
Yep. Well, I'd love to have it. All right, thank you, sir. And
thank you very much.
We will catch you next time.
All right, thank you, Tom. Thanks a lot for playing my stuff. See you down the road.
Talk to you later.
Making the internet absolutely ridiculous. Dementia Radio.
www.dementiaradio.org. Port 8027.
Please hang up and try again.
This is the part where there's feedback. Feedback. You know that segment of the show we do about now?
Feedback.
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 Lee, let's sing a song about Lee, let's sing a song about Lee, you're testing my ADD.
Eclectic Lee wrote, "So you like fan fiction, do you, Devo? Good, but I've been writing it every April for something like 13 years. Yes, and we greatly appreciate the work you do on the newsletter." Moving on. Anyway, moving on. Sorry, I'm a week late. Luke's question was whether in episode 776, Tony Goldmark set a new record for saying the title of the show after it was revealed. And the answer is no. Tony said it about 9 seconds after Devo said it. Luke's record of 6 seconds from number 738 still stands. The difference is that when Luke set the record, Devo simply said the title of the episode and stopped talking because there were no live guests. In number 776, Devo kept doing his spiel about putting it in the chat, etc. after saying it. Tony actually interrupted him to get it in, but not soon enough. Thank you, Lee.
Thank you, Lee.
I want to say something about that specifically. I mentioned it here in the call chat, but I was so incorrect when I tried to say the today's episode title, which was Spotless Guitar, and if I remember correctly, I said Smooth Guitar.
Well, there, you
Thank
said
you for
it.
getting me that one a second time. Yeah, I was like, that doesn't count.
It's close enough.
But yeah,
stupid
I
thing
was
we
just
do.
like, I was just like, oh my god! Like when it hit me, I was just like, "You fool! You damned fool!
You fool!
You fell victim to one of the classic blunders."
Over on YouTube, 9 Fine Limes wrote, "Thanks for having us, FuMP folks." I'm guessing that's one of the guys from the documentary. I'm not sure which one.
Yes.
Dizman of Dead by 28 wrote, "I think I love these movie makers. I know I'm thrilled to be part of their artistic project." Thank you, Dizman. So are we. And Insane Ian wrote, Ian doesn't have a theme, does he? No, he does not. I love how the last few minutes of the cast is a bandwidth breakdown image brought to us by the shitty provider of Devo's internet. Brilliant. Yes, for those who haven't watched the replay of the video on YouTube, whenever my bandwidth dies and I have to edit the show together, there's always gaps in the video, but I have all the audio recording because I'm recording locally. So in those gaps of the video, I put up a screen that says this bandwidth breakdown is brought to you by Optimum. And I just, the entire time, it's up. Ian continues, also, Devo, you only read one of my 2 comments. The other one, which was a reply to my first, was about Luke's song. Can't wait to see the documentary. Yeah, my apologies. I didn't see the second comment. And in fact, when I saw this comment, I went back and looked and I still didn't see it. And then I saw that in very little text it said 1 reply. And I clicked on that and it opened up to last week's comment, which he says, also, I'm just thankful to have been included on the song. Nothing so harsh as what the fuck when my take wasn't in the initial mix, but I was bummed it wasn't there at first, yes. So thank you, Ian. All right. That's all the feedback we got.
I have some instant feedback for you.
Sure.
So here are Chuck Jones's 9 rules for Coyote and Roadrunner cartoons. Number 1, the Roadrunner cannot harm the Coyote except by going beep beep.
Yeah, and Number 2, does in at least 1 or 2 videos, 1 or 2 cartoons. I know he does.
Yeah. Number 2, no outside force can harm the Coyote, only his own ineptitude or the failure of Acme products.
Yeah, that doesn't always stay true either, because some random stuff does happen.
Well, yeah. 3, the Coyote could stop any time if he were not a fanatic. And then as a footnote here, it says, a quote from Hubert, will you get the hell out of here? Get, he's trying to play and bite me while I'm trying to read you important rules about coyotes. What are you doing? The boy! Come on. Oh, you...
This is bringing me great joy.
This is... Hubert, God damn it. Come here.
I miss my cats.
I don't know what's happening now. Luke just disappeared.
I don't know either. He's just gone. Cubert's just fucking dead.
Cubert's on a timeout.
Okay.
Because
okay.
Because as you can see, like the little tiny things on my arms, he likes to nip and play and stuff. And right now, he's not listening to me. So anyway. Oh yeah. So I said. The coyote could stop any time if he were not a fanatic, and then there's a kind of footnote quote here. A fanatic is one who redoubles his efforts when he has forgotten his aim, from George Santayana. Yeah, anyway. Number 4, no dialogue ever except beep beep. Number 5, the Roadrunner must stay on the road. Otherwise, logically, he would not be called Roadrunner. Number 6, all action must be confined to the natural environment of the 2 characters, the Southwest American desert. Number 7, all materials, tools, weapons, or mechanical conveniences must be obtained from the Acme Corporation. Number 8, whenever possible, make gravity the coyote's greatest enemy. And number 9, the coyote is always more humiliated than harmed by his failures. And then, so those are the 9 official rules. It says here, in a post a few years back, writer Jason Kotke shared a slightly different list with 2 more rules, and the 2 other rules that are added. And it says, number 10, the audience's sympathy must remain with the coyote, and number 11, the coyote is not allowed to catch or eat the Roadrunner. Which makes sense,
yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah. There's a particular episode of Mighty Magisorts that John Barry and I made that was very specifically meant to be our version of a Roadrunner cartoon. And
yeah,
for
I love that episode.
The title of it is Goat. And to be said properly, it's Goat! And yeah, that was like one of the early, I think it's like around the 9th or 10th episode of season 2, I think it was. But yeah, it's about trying to catch a goat. And me and John basically sat and spent the whole afternoon out in the lobby watching Roadrunner cartoons on DVD to like get us in the right mindset to write this episode. So
awesome.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the thing I wanted to say before somebody else posted it next week for a comment.
All right. Thank you. All right. Teasing.
Teasing. He's a teasing kind of guy. Now you have a job. Yeah.
Tomorrow's song is by a new artist. And
Tuesday song is not yet posted.
So not a whole lot of teasing we can do this week. But yeah, so we need a topic for this week's Spotify playlist. Lucas, you got any suggestions?
Fuck.
I could do that.
The topic is fuck. Hi, I'm Gilbert. The topic is fuck.
No. Actually, well, a cat just walked by me. I don't know whose it is, but I was very distracted by it, and then you suddenly asked me that question. So I'm just gonna say, local park cats.
Cats
is going to be a suggestion.
I don't know if we can specifically do local park cats, but there's plenty of songs about cats. So I'll do
That's
cats.
the name of my ska band.
Awesome. All right, so Dave Guhlow is at daveguhlow.bandcamp.com. Lucas, plug yourself one more time.
I am ThatLuckyPanda in all of the platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, whatever you listen to music on, you freak. I am also on Bandcamp and Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube. Again, my YouTube is Lucas and in brackets ThatLuckyPanda. That's where all my music stuff and not music stuff is. And if you want to give me money, please do not hesitate to do so. You want to do it.
I would like to second that. If anyone would like to give me money, please don't hesitate to do so. Just as a general rule.
Rent is, in fact, due.
All right, let's get out of here. Thank you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. I'm Devo Spice.
I'm Luke Ski, and look, there's That Lucky Panda.
Hi, I'm That Lucky Panda. Bye, actually.
Thank you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. You can listen live every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific at DementiaRadio.org and join us in the chat. Or subscribe to the podcast feed. Look us up on iTunes and be sure to leave us a review. Feedback for the show can be sent to info@thefump.com. The Funny Music Podcast is a production of Fidem Interactive, LLC, released under a Creative Commons share-alike license. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, shout it to random people on the street, and be sure to visit thefump.com for the latest funny songs. Tune in next week where you'll hear Luke Ski say,
do your guitars have spots all over them? Get Acme Spot Remover, and you too soon will have a spotless guitar.
Dun, 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 dun.